We aren't here to mess around. Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NBA DFS video for Friday. We are going to bring you some of the best projections. We're going to build lineups here. We're going to have giveaways for you guys absolutely free. So if you have not been here before, welcome to the show. Stick around. Let's have some fun. A couple of nights ago, it took a score of 500 to take down an NBA slate, which is absolutely nuts. All the chalk hit. All the projections we had were damn near spot on, if not even more. We're obviously not going to project 80 plus, but that's what we got. And that's why we're here. So if you are new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Because not only do we do NBA, we do NFL. If you did not check out NFL yesterday for the showdown breakdown, we had that for you. We will have it for Sunday Night Football. We will have it for Monday Night Football as well. We will have an entire breakdown of the main slate for NFL too. But you guys are here for NBA, and that's what we want to do. We are going to break down the slate. Since there's more than 5 games, we have a 10-game Friday slate, which is perfect. We're going to give you 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position with the early projections. Now, these value picks and projections will change a little bit because we have a lot of questionable game time decision type players, and we will boost it up. So check out the website about 2 hours before tip-off, and we will have some fun with this video. So not only were the lineups that we built absolute fire the other night, whether or not that was NBA, the showdown, I didn't change the lineups. We build lineups here. So at the end of this video, we're going to build a FanDuel, we're going to build a DraftKings lineup. This is one of the bets that I took after looking at the showdown and looking at our information, our cheat sheets. This is from last night. We took Dallas Goedert over 3.5 receptions. Jalen Hurts anytime scored. We had A.J. Brown 60-plus yards. Barkley anytime score. And Zach Ertz over 3.5 receptions. Now, $15 to $229 and at 50, which was awesome. We took a little bit of bet. So if you guys want to check stuff like this out, check out the breakdowns for the showdowns. I will have a Week 11 best bets for this week. We'll break down bets just like this if you guys want to check it out. And it's completely free here on YouTube. All you got to do, like and video likes, article likes, click the ads. It all helps out since this is all free. Now, we have giveaways every single time. 2 of them. Like this video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. If this video gets 50 likes, you have a chance at a free week of FTA+. That's a week of every sport that we offer that's in season. 100 likes on the video is a chance at a free month. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes, a chance at a lifetime pass. So we're going to see who the 2 winners are. Even if they had the keyword in this one, it's still going to go day by day. So Chris Demore, congratulations. All you got to do is email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1 at gmail.com. If you have a username on the site, let me know it. If you do not, let me know a username and email you would like, and we will get you set up. Now, the second way to win is somewhere in this video there will be a keyword, and then all you got to do is listen for it and type it in. So the video keyword from our last video on Wednesday was Dateline. Even though Chris had it in here, we're still going to re-roll it. He still has a chance. 1 in 51 chance, because there's 51 comments, to win again. Technically 2, but we're going to pick another winner, and it'll be for someone who has the keyword. So the winner is Richard Cly 3. Dateline dude. I love him, man. He was also Matt Perry's stepdad. Yes, he was. I saw that. So Richard, email me, same thing, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Let me know a username and email you would like on the site if you do not already have one. So we're just going to jump right into it. If you want to see all the other information, we have a bunch of NFL content out there. Check that out. Our sponsor, Outlier.Bet, if you have not checked them out, make sure to click the link down below. We use them for everything, for bets. This is what I used to build the bet that you guys saw was the winner last night. The link is down below. If you guys sign up, you guys will get a free week. And on top of that, we will give you a free month of FTA+. If you go with their normal package, if you go with their full package, we will give you a full 3 months absolutely free. So what we're going to do is there's a ton of players that are already questionable or out. We are going to go position by position. We are going to look at the players, and then we're going to build a DraftKings lineup, and we're going to build a FanDuel lineup at the end. If there's certain other things you guys want to see in these videos, comment down below so I know what you guys would like to see. So Starting out at point guard, the top point guard right now through the early simulations and early projections got Trae Young right around 55 to 60 fantasy point range. We got SGA right around 53 to 56 range, and Cade Cunningham 50 to 52 fantasy points. If we go down mid-tier for point guard, I'm looking at Darius Garland at 40 fantasy points, Jordan Poole at 40, and Jamal Murray at 38. And then to find some value here in this position, depending on where we're at, you got Jalen Noel for New Orleans, right around 25 fantasy points at 4,000, which is a perfect price. Davion Mitchell, right around 30 fantasy points at 51. And then A.J. Mitchell for OKC if he gets some run at 32 fantasy points. Now, we will see if A.J. Mitchell, he's 3,200. He's coming off 26 minutes. He did have an 11-minute game, and then he had another couple of 20-minute games there. He's hit almost 10 times value a couple of times, or one time. So he's a very, very value option if the run is there. So if we look at this, if we look at games, and you just kind of want to see, and it'll really depend on the spread and stuff like that, and that's what we use Outlier for, the games and the spread. So if we look at this game, it is looking like an OKC 7.5 point spread with a 227.5 over under. So if they get up big, AJ Mitchell could find some value in this one. So that's kind of where we find some of this value at. Moving to the shooting guard position for today's 10 game. I love this slate. I think it's going to be another high scoring game though, or high scoring slate. We got Devin Booker right around 50 fantasy points. We got Brandon Ingram at 47. We've got Tyler Hero at 43. Mid-tier, we're looking at Dennis Schroeder at 30, Carlton Carrington right around 29 to 32, and Dyson Daniels right around 28 fantasy points. And then some value at the shooting guard position tonight. We're looking at, it depends. Grayson Allen is questionable, but he's 3,700 at about 22 to 25 fantasy point range. Cason Wallace at 21 fantasy points. And then Julian Strother for Denver, if he gets in there, about 20 to 25 fantasy point range. So if we look at Strother and we look at the value here, it depends on the minutes. You see the last 4 games, 25, right around 25 minutes. A couple of the games he's had really good results. It's been 3 days since he's played, so we don't have to worry about like a back-to-back or anything like that. So if he gets in there, we can definitely check that out. So Denver at New Orleans. So if we look, if we could see the price, and you've got Denver as a 5.5 point favorite. So it could be a close game. 220.5 over under. So he could get in there. He could get his minutes. He could get 25-ish minutes if he's in there. So that is another value pick at that position. So moving to the small forward position today, we got LeBron James about 51 to 55 fantasy points. I believe he just had a triple-double his last game, or 3 triple-doubles. Yeah, he's had 3 straight triple-doubles. He's had 60-plus fantasy points in 3 straight games and damn near 60 against Memphis. Faced Memphis twice there. Now he faces San Antonio. Splits-wise, he has not faced them this year, but he's been absolutely on fire. That's even with AD in there. So he's been on fire. He is expensive, though. They have bumped his price up. But I've got him about 51 to 55 fantasy point range. But, again, we're not going to predict out 70-plus for the majority of people. But we look at that. The next one is Franz Wagner. Now, Wagner was one of our core plays. If you want to check out our core plays and value plays, they're free in the Discord down below as well. I took Franz Wagner last game against Indy because I loved it. He was 8,500. He kind of let us down a little bit at 46.75, but we still cashed with him. Played 37 minutes in that same game. Splits-wise, he's facing Philly. Got him about 45 to 48 fantasy point range. We got RJ Barrett about 40 to 42 fantasy points for our top plays. Mid-tier plays here, Grady Dick at 30 fantasy points, Michael Bridges at 30, and Trey Murphy III at 29 to 32. And then some value here at small forward for you guys today. We've got Benedict Mathurin right around 35 to 40 fantasy point range, Lou Dort at 26 to 28, and then we got Jarris Walker for Indy right around 22 to 25. So if we're looking at Jarris Walker, and he gets in there, and he gets the minutes, the past few games have been about 20-plus minutes, 20-plus fantasy points. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. So it just depends on the pace of play, but you guys know with Indy, Their pace of play is very good. We absolutely love taking players for Indy and against Indy most nights. Then we move to power forward. You can take LeBron James there if you want, but we've got Jalen Johnson for Atlanta right around 45 to 48 fantasy points. We got Pascal Siakam right around 40 to 42, and then Paul George right around 40 fantasy points himself. Mid-tier, it kind of drops off a little bit. Like, power forward's a weird, for 10 games, it kind of drops off quickly. But we got Tobias Harris at 33. We got Michael Porter Jr. at 32. And we've got OG Anunoby at 29 fantasy points. So then you want to look for some value here. Depending if he plays, Jonathan Isaac at 3,700, got him about 22 to 25. We got Peyton Watson right around 26 fantasy points. And then we've got Kevin Love down at 3,900 against Indy, right around 22 to 25 fantasy points. Now the final position for you guys tonight, Jokic, who is questionable. Make sure it's just a tag. Personal reasons, not appear to be injured, though he's in jeopardy of missing his first game of the season. So if he is out, that'll open up value. But if he is in, I've got him projected at 69 fantasy points in this matchup. It'll really just depend if he's in there, so that's definitely something to make sure. This is the kind of play that I tell you, this is why you check back about 2 hours before tip-off, because this is where value will open up. So we got Jokic at 69-ish. We've got Victor Wembanyama at 55 fantasy points. We got Anthony Davis at 50 fantasy points. Moving to the center position for mid-tier, Jacob Poeltl at 37. We've got Jarrett Allen at 35. Miles Turner at 34. And then value, obviously value will open up for center here if Jokic actually misses. If Jokic misses, Dario Saric should get the minutes. It just depends on what's going to happen. We don't know. You've got DeAndre Jordan, who'd be a cheap option at 3,000, who probably bumps up in the minutes if he's in fact out. So DeAndre Jordan at 30 or 3,000 would be a huge value. But again, it just depends if Jokic is actually out. So that's something we need to pay attention to. But value picks here at the center position, not a ton. And it will be dependent on him, but you got Mo Wagner right around 25 fantasy points. We've got looking like there's not a ton. You got Jalen Smith for Chicago, about 18 to 22 fantasy points. Obi Toppin for Indy, right around 19 to 22 range. So if Obi Toppin is a value pick, the minutes have been there. It's just the production's been a little bit weird for him. So again, a lot of these value picks will be dependent on the players above them. Jokic is the main one there. So there you have it. That is looking at some projections. If you want to see all of them, we've got every player projected there. You got to check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Make sure when you look at that, you're looking at everything we have. We have a ton of tools. If you've never been to the site before, hopefully you're in for a treat. So under the NBA tab, we got Vegas odds. We got our bets. We've got the fantasy points allowed by position. We've got our DFS chalk, which is we look at chalk. If you play cash, you play chalk. If you play tournaments, you want to fade that chalk. We've got simulations for both DraftKings and FanDuel. We've got projections for both of them. And we have a cheat sheet, which gives you about 6 to 7 players at each position for cash, 6 or 7 players for each position. For tournaments, we use that as our player pool. We've also got a couple of plays at each position that might be value plays. We have a couple of FanDuel and DraftKings lineups that are great starting points for you if you guys are stuck and are wanting to see some of our mindset as well. We've been doing this for 10 years, going on 11 years now. So we know what we're doing. It's just me by myself doing all these videos and editing and everything. So hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll. So we are going to build one DraftKings lineup. We are going to build one FanDuel. I think we're going to build a boomer bust lineup with value. I'm going to take Jokic out of it just in case he is out for personal reasons, because that opens up a ton because how expensive he is. So we talked about him. That's not how you spell Garland. Darius Garland, I'm putting him at 27 with his projections against Chicago. I like this matchup for him. I want to stay in the same game. I want to go Donovan Mitchell in that same sense. So we're paying up kind of big here. Another one we talked about is Grayson Allen. I don't know if he's he is questionable. He missed his last game, so maybe I'm going to take him out because my luck, I'm going to build this with these questionable guys this early, and then they'll be out. So, yeah, I'm going to take, I think I'm going to redo this a little bit. I'm going to take out this because it was all contingent on Grayson Allen. But I'm going to do Cade Cunningham. We had him as a value pick, or one of the top 3 picks at that position. Jalen Noel is one of the top value picks for the day, so I'm going to put him in there. Benedict Mathurin, he is 6,200, but I like this matchup for him because he's on Indy, and I love what they bring to the table. We got Jonathan Isaac, which is a value pick. It depends on the minutes that he's going to get, but I like him. Valanciunas going up against Atlanta, because usually I like to take centers against Atlanta. And you can see why if you go and check out the fantasy points allowed by position. It's been a hole for them quite a bit this year, or the past few years. Darius Garland, Lou Dort is a value pick here, under 5K. And then we've got 9,900 for a utility spot. Trae Young, Devin Booker. I'm going Trae Young because he's my favorite top point guard projection early on. So there you have it. That is the DraftKings lineup for you. If you want to check out the FanDuel, we'll build that right now. So DraftKings main slate is 10 games. FanDuel is 12. Why they do this, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me ever the way they do it. But before we go ahead and build this DraftKings lineup, the keyword of the day, it's Friday. It is Outlier.Bet Friday. So the keyword is Outlier or Outlier.Bet. If you have not checked them out yet, definitely check them out. I also have a athletic clothing company that reached out to me that wanted to send me a couple of products to show you guys and talk about in a video or a segment. So in a couple of weeks when that comes, it would be very helpful if you would click on my link and just go to the website and check it out. I will let you guys know if I like the fabric or not. It's the first time I've done this, so very excited. We've got a sponsor for the videos. Now we're getting some clothing that people want to send. That's the beauty of hitting 10,000 YouTube subscribers. People notice you, and it's been awesome. And would not be able to do it without you guys. So yeah. So anyway, let's build a FanDuel lineup here. Any questions, we will definitely go through here. But I am looking at a value pick right off the bat at Davion Mitchell for Toronto. In that same sense, I'm paying up for Trae Young. And again, I'm taking Jokic out of here because I just do not know if he will in fact be here to play. We got Jaden Ivey, who is questionable with a toe. He has missed a second game, so maybe we'll go away from him right now. Let's go Paul George. I like Paul George here. Another one for Corey Kispert, a value option there for Washington, especially if they're playing from behind against Atlanta. I like that. Another contingent one on value, but we'll definitely see with Jonathan Isaac. Got Pascal. And then Adebayo is where I want to go right now for center. Now, we've got a power forward position at 6,300 left. Jaden Ivey was in there, but he is questionable to miss with a toe. So we have Keegan Murray in this matchup here, game log wise. The minutes have been there for Keegan. Fantasy points have been a little bit iffy. 8.1 is not good. 25.3 at his price is not good, but 32.3 is good. 42.9. Going up against, who's he going up against? Sacramento facing Minnesota. So if we look at Minnesota and we take a little gander at the fantasy points allowed by position, which I have it on this screen, but you guys can check it out on the website. I want to see how Minnesota does against the power forward. Nope. So if we look at Minnesota, they only give up an average of 38 fantasy points. They're ranked number 2 against power forward for points, number 3 for rebounds, number 1 for assists, number 2 for steals, 2 for blocks, 7 for three-pointers, number 1 for against. They're the worst team for him to play. So I don't want him. I probably want to look at maybe a Jonathan Kuminga or Draymond Green. I think I'm going to go Kuminga here. No, I'll go Draymond Green. I'll put Draymond Green and build that lineup. So that's what I got in this video. Any questions, comments, and concerns, get those down below. Very excited. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.